What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Shonen Showdown. I'm your host, Rob, and sitting to the right of me is...
My name's Alex Kresner. I'm your, anime specialist that Rob hired in to discuss Mob Psycho 100 in this thorough debate.
Did you say Mob Psycho 100? Is that what we're doing today?
Yes, we're doing Mob Psycho 100.
All right, let's just get right into it. Right now, we're going to be talking about the best secondary threat to Claw, right? Because we already know how crazy Mob is, aka Kageyama Shigeo. I mean, this brother is just on another level. Like, there is nothing else. There's nothing else that we can say about him. But there are some members out there that have been fighting against Claw, such as Teruki, Mogami, and Sho. Now, these three individuals are completely powerful espers, powerful spirits, whatever you want to call them. They are powerful, they are strategic, and in their own way, they've all taken down a member of the Ultimate Five. So this is why we want to compare these three and figure out which one is the best secondary threat to Claw. So, Alex, starting off with you, who is it?
Well, I just want to start off by saying that I have in no way read the manga of Mob Psycho 100 yet. But I have watched both seasons of the anime thoroughly. And so just to get down to my answer straight up, Sho, Teruki, and Mogami. In that order.
Okay. You're wrong. You're absolutely wrong. And the thing is I like Sho, and we'll get into him a little bit later. But the best secondary threat is actually Teruki. I gotta have Teruki in there. Then I will have to put in actually Mogami, and then I'll put in Sho. But let's.
No one's wrong here. We're just discussing our opinion. It's not a matter of right and wrong. We're just we'll see who's got the better argument here.
I'll tell you why you're wrong after you go into why you think it is Sho. Go have at it. Go ahead.
Well, let me first start off not by saying why I think it is Sho who's the best secondary threat, but why I don't think Mogami and Teruki are not the biggest secondary threat. Mogami, number one. Disregarding all factors straight up, like strength and spirit or how much will he has, Mogami doesn't care about defeating Claw. And he's still morally ambiguous from what we know in the anime, and I'm sure that since the manga is relatively still new right now, I'm not certain, but there's still a very big moral ambiguity with Mogami.
Right.
So he doesn't really have any motivation to defeat Claw. He didn't really completely turn good after fighting Mob. He respects Mob, but he still has certain things. He's still set in his ways in certain ways. Maybe he's learned a little bit from Mob, but from what I've seen so far after just 2 seasons of the anime, he's not a good guy. I wouldn't consider him as one of the other antagonists that have turned good.
Hold on. Did you not see what he did to Minegishi? I mean, this man literally was sucking the souls out of
exactly.
lower class espers just by his presence alone.
No, yeah.
I mean, he's the only person that has pushed Mob to the unknown limit. That triple question mark that we see Mob reach when he was fighting Mogami. He's the only one that has pushed him that far. And some people may say I'm wrong about this, but I think we have to mention this. We saw what Mob did when he was fighting Torichiro Suzuki, right? I want to mention that I think that if Mogami was in the right setting, I think he could give Torichiro a run for his money as well. I mean, Mogami is just on another level. You have Dimple that is completely afraid of him. He was able to completely subdue Minegishi with ease. When I mean ease, he literally only spared his life because Mob asked him to. I mean, this is just something that is... You can't look at Mogami and think, we can't put him in this... And you're right. We don't know what his true intentions are, right? And Claw is not necessarily, something that he was trying to go after. He was just trying to go after all people that he thought were, he deemed evil. But Claw can kind of fall in line with some of that, which is why Minagishi got caught. And the reason why I have to say that is because even though he didn't have a clear-cut direction of what he wanted to do, his power level is just too magnificent to ignore. It is too crazy to ignore. He was in the room fighting against people. You're telling me that a man had to literally get a whole group of powerful espers, right, to try and exercise his daughter, and all of them started to get wiped out. It had to all depend on Mob and Reagan and Dimple at the end. I mean, come on, this is something next level.
So why are you putting Mogami last? Why are you putting him in?
You have him last.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
See, all right.
No, yeah, but never mind. On to my next point.
Mm-hmm.
He also left the fight after being released. Not only do we not know his moral stance right now as a character, he also left the fight. So even if he did see Claw as an evil threat,
mm-hmm.
why wouldn't he stay and fight? He left. He has no ambition or goal to take out Claw. So I think that's a big point in why he's not the best secondary threat. And do you want me to go on, or do you?
He's a top 3 Esper.
For sure. All your points are totally. I totally agree.
Automatically. So
even Mob before he went 100%. What was it? He went 100% courage when he was fighting Mogami in the mind realm that he had.
Right.
Before he went completely triple question mark.
Right.
I think he went 100% courage. I think that's what it was. And at that point, he couldn't even. He had to go. Yeah, like you said, he had to go to triple question mark before he even went into the girl who was possessed. I don't remember her name, but before he even went into her to fight Mogami, he said to Raygon and Dimple that I don't think I can beat him right now.
Thank you.
I don't think I can beat him right now.
That's what I'm getting at. That's what I'm getting at.
Like,
so imagine you being the leader of Claw. Imagine you being Torichiro, right? And you're looking out and you're seeing, okay, wow, Ultimate 5 members are getting dropped like flies.
I wish we got to see Mogami fight more.
Because that could have been a serious problem.
Yeah.
So, but because of what you were saying earlier, we don't have a clear-cut direction of what he wants to do. I couldn't put him number 1 over Teruki. But I do want to hear why you think Sho is so great.
All right. I know there's a lot of debate on Reddit
mm-hmm.
and other places, but I'm going to put it out there right now.
Mm-hmm.
Sho is stronger than Teruki.
He is.
Sho is stronger than Teruki.
He is.
And not only is strength a big factor, which it is,
mm-hmm.
but there's also some other points. And I can build on my argument of why I think he's stronger than Teruki. He took down Ishiguro, who's the leader of the 7th Division of Claw.
Oh my god.
Totally wiped out with out even a lift of his little finger. He totally wiped them out.
I just want to interject before you go back to your point. Sho is one of the most disrespectful, most condescending espers that I have ever seen. I mean, this brother is just so disrespectful when he's fighting Ishiguro. As you mentioned earlier, Ishiguro is putting his all into this fight. He's throwing black hole, telekinesis powers at him, and Sho is just batting them off without a care in the world. He is just dropping him to the ground and tossing him around like he's paper. That is ridiculous. And not even to mention, one of the members of the Ultimate 5 stopped him on his way up to reach his father. Can I tell you that this man didn't even think about who was in front of him? All he had to do was jump, suplex, and keep running. Mm-hmm. This is so disrespectful. You mean to tell me you're a member of the Ultimate 5 and my man doesn't even use his powers against you? Mm-hmm. Wow.
Although he did blast Suzuki, and then Serizawa got in his way and totally blocked it with his umbrella. You can't claim that you're better than the Ultimate 5 if you still can't beat one of them. I mean,
he did beat one of them.
If he still can't beat at least one of them.
He did take down Hattori.
Yeah,
right?
He took down Hattori. And you could tell when he was going to fight his dad and he was taking Ritsu with him. You could tell he knew how to fight Shimazaki. Yeah, right. You could tell that he knew how to take him down because he knew all their powers.
Well, all right, listen. I'm not going to go as far as to say he knew how to take him down, but what I will say is that
he knew the right strategy. He knew his powers.
He knew that he may have had a chance.
Yeah.
Right. But do you think that's enough for you? Because I want to rip Sho apart. But listen, this is just a thing where is that enough right now for you to say, okay,
No.
Sho is the best secondary threat?
So,
okay, why is he the best secondary
Sho
threat?
has been fighting, training, and using his powers against other psychics for way longer than Teruki.
Okay,
As,
I agree.
Like,
I agree.
And
I agree.
Teruki didn't use his powers against other psychics until he met Mob. So,
I agree.
it would be a close fight if you pinned Teruki versus Sho. And, like, Teru's ability to figure out an opponent's attack and then adapt it to his psychic ability, which is something like Mob does. You see Mob do that too. And he uses the same techniques and formulates his own attacks with it. And also, Teru seems to be stronger mentally than Sho. I feel like he has less emotional baggage than Sho, and he could probably get into Sho's head if he got into some sort of situational 1v1. But in terms of like raw power, and based on what we've seen versus like in the past 2 seasons with abilities and the feats and the type of enemies they've defeated, Sho seems superior in overall power and versus Teruki in their current states. Also, Sho has the power to, like his father, retain energy and charge it for long periods of time. Yeah, Teru could learn how Sho holds his power and charges it, but that doesn't necessarily mean that that at the current state, we're talking about current state Teruki versus Sho.
Right.
Sho is stronger, and Sho has been living with Claw his whole entire life, and he knows all of their abilities.
All right. You're making a decent case for Sho, and listen, my point for Teruki being strong, being a better secondary threat to Claw is not really strictly talking power, because if we're strictly talking power, Sho is just on another level.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna disrespect that man, but what I will say is that there's 2 things that you need in order to counter Claw, right? You need to be a powerful Esper, you need to be a powerful fighter, but you also need to be a great leader, right? Or a great strategist. And that's where I think Sho lacks.
I mean, well, he did have his rebel regime.
Hold on. Yes. And let me get into that right now. Let me get into that right now.
I mean, he led a regime.
First of all, okay. And let me get into this right now. First of all, if you're trying to recruit members, right, to counter Claw, I can't understand what was going on through Sho's head. He thought, okay, let me burn down Mob's house and maybe I can, anger him enough where he's in that power stage and I can try to get my dad involved and he fights people in Claw and this helps us. Hold on. I just want to say this right now, Sho is one of the luckiest members in this show to still be breathing right now, because what would have happened if Kageyama found out that Sho was the one that burned down his house while he was in that state? It would have been done. All right, Sho would have been over. The whole thing would have been a wrap. His whole organization, his whole, rebellion plan would have been in shambles. That is crazy. That is your first blunder in recruiting. Your second blunder in recruiting is Ritsu? I mean, what do you see in Ritsu that you don't see in other Espers?
From what I've heard in the manga, I mean, I've seen things. I haven't read it I haven't read the manga, but on Reddit, from what I've heard, 100%. Ritsu is pretty powerful.
I don't care what 100. It could be 300%.
He is not mob level. He's there yet.
He is not mob level.
Now,
yes, and he is not mob level. And the thing is let's. All right, you know what? Because the amount of faith that he places in Ritsu, I think is just ridiculous. I think it's something that we have to look into. If we think Ritsu is if we want to agree with him and think that Ritsu is a powerful Esper, let's go into his resume. What has Ritsu done? Okay. He fought against some non-Espers while he was using Dimple's powers, so it wasn't even powers of his own. Okay. He also got basically baptized by Teruki when Teruki approached him. He pulled up on him.
Ritsu is strong, but he's not as strong as
he is not as strong.
No,
right?
Not yet, at least.
He has some little mid-tier strength. I'm not here to really talk down on Ritsu too much, because he did a little thing. He did a little something, against the 7th division of Claw. He fought against some of the little lackeys or whatever, which is good. It was it's a nice little crowd control, but it is nothing crazy. Apparently, Sho thinks that Ritsu can hang with Shimazaki. Oh, what? What did did you see in Ritsu to leave him alone with Shimazaki? You are crazy. Ritsu almost died right before our very eyes because you placed that much faith in him. And I think that is one of his biggest blunders, that he thinks Ritsu is just this next level. He thinks Ritsu is the second coming of Mob, for crying out loud, and he is not.
He could be. He's not there yet. But
he is not there yet. He is not there
from
yet.
What I've heard or what I saw through the grapevine on Reddit is apparently Ritsu, or like in the manga, he gets more powerful, or at least I'm not sure, but I don't know. I can't attest to that.
Yes, exactly.
But what I can attest to is that it makes sense from a character development standpoint why Sho would put so much trust in Ritsu, because Ritsu and Sho have both gone through the similar life path, which is in fear of their older psychic counterpart.
So that's okay for you to leave him by himself against Shimazaki?
They share more of a bond. They're like,
I don't care what bond
we're the
you
same.
have.
We're not. We're the same. Like they said that, you know, they talked about how we've gone through very similar experiences.
Okay.
You know, you're trying to stop your father from going berserk, and I've always been in fear of my brother from going berserk.
Right.
And that is more of a character development standpoint in terms of not like I'm with you and we're on the same wavelength,
right,
power-wise, but I'm with you, and it's more of he puts all this faith and trust in him. Also, I mean, yeah, he doesn't know his fighting ability. Sho is he's a young kid. He didn't know how powerful Ritsu really was, and
that's the problem. If you're developing a team,
can we just say that Sho, his animation, he kind of looks like a Hunter anime drawing kind of guy.
All right.
I mean, that's for my. I mean, don't you think he looks like a little?
You think of Sho so highly. You're giving him Esper powers, and you're also giving him Nen. This is why.
Well, he looks like he could use Nen.
Let me handle this.
He looks like he's probably using some Nen to turn invisible.
All right. See, this is why. This is why. Let me handle this, guys. The best secondary threat is none other than Teruki. No. I mean, when we're talking about this, Teruki is a complete beast. He even fought against Mob, and not to understand that, you know, Mob definitely, you know, he definitely baptized him and brought him into the team. But with that, Teruki has shown his growth. I mean, this guy even is mentoring students that are helping him fight against Claw, helping him control different, you know, control cars in the air so he can, you know, do some crowd control. He has the strategic ability to counter Shimazaki. Now, Shimazaki undoubtedly to me was the second strongest Esper in Claw, right underneath Torichiro, right? This man has about the ability to teleport, and he was making everyone look like babies. He was just destroying everything. But there was one person that he actually recognized and he acknowledged as a threat, and that was Teruki. And you know why? Because Teruki, not only is he a powerful Esper, but he is very strategic, and he was able to understand that if we keep fighting him and we keep this up, all we have to really do is predict Shimazaki's movements, and we can take him down, guys. We can take him down. And Shimazaki noticed this and was getting scared. And this is why I think Teruki is beyond his years as a leader, because he was able to, you know, work with people that he's really never worked with before, and was able to save people. He was a person that went after and tried to save the prime minister from Shimazaki as well, right? Teruki is just a complete beast on all accounts. We love him. I mean, I gotta give him that. Because not only is he powerful, but he has the ability to, you know, have allies and work with allies and make those allies actually look better than what they are, right? I mean, the 7th division of Claw was, you know, compared to what's happening in season 2, they were supposed to be rendered useless. I mean, they're hanging out with Reagan for crying out loud. But what did we actually end up seeing? They were able to work together and take down Shimazaki. Why? Because Teruki, right, was the floor general, right? And I gotta give him his credit. For what happened.
If it wasn't for Mob, they wouldn't have turned into the good side anyway. It's all. I mean, we're not talking about primary threat. We're talking about secondary threat. Sorry. So
Teruki is just he's the best leader out of these three, undoubtedly. He can work with people. Or Sho clearly can't, because he's leaving Ritsu to die. Ritsu almost got comboed to death. So I mean, right. I know Teruki wouldn't do that. So Teruki had a whole plan. He's just quick on his feet. He's a beast. He's a beast. Right. I gotta give credit where credit is due. And he mentors kids as well. He has his own students. Give it to him.
I will agree that Teruki. I love him too. He's a good guy, right? I mean, he wasn't a good guy, but now he's pretty good. He's pretty
Very
cool.
good.
I agree. He's a great leader. He's
Yes.
better leader than I think he's a better leader than Mob.
Yes, yes, he actually is a better leader than Mob.
Mob
Yes.
can't even lead his own religion. So, like, yes, he's a better leader. He's really quick to learn, just like Mob, which is good. It's potential. And I hear you're talking about how he is potentially can defeat Claw. Let's get down to brass tacks here. Claw is defeated, right?
Yes.
Claw is defeated.
Right.
There is no more potential for him to defeat Claw, because Claw is gone. Who is the person that who are the people that have gotten the closest to Suzuki? The closest to defeating him? The closest in proximity to him? Who is even able to get near him to defeat him? Mob? What's the umbrella guy?
Wait, are you really gonna use this point?
Hold on.
How dare you
I'm gonna
use
build
this point?
upon the point.
How are you gonna use this point? First of all, if
hold on,
Teruki never fought Shimazaki, Sho wouldn't even have reached him. Shimazaki is that nice. I think
if
you're
Ritsu
looking.
didn't stop him.
If Ritsu didn't stop what?
For Sho
Ritsu
to
got
get
comboed.
Yeah, but it wasn't Teruki that stopped Shimazaki from stopping Sho. It was Ritsu who distracted him.
Ritsu got destroyed.
Yes, Ritsu got destroyed, and he was totally wiped clean. But it was Ritsu that distracted him so Sho could go up there. Sho even said that I know his powers. He told Ritsu his powers, and he had a strategy to defeat him. And I'm sure if Sho really wanted to, he could have led the other Claw 7th Division people like Teruki did. I mean, yes, Sho does not have the smartest recruitment skills, but he does have good leadership skills because he still can recruit people.
All right, if I'm a good leader, right?
But Claw is defeated. Claw is gone. And the person who has gone through and through to see that Claw is defeated, who has built upon this, who has the most reason to defeat Claw, is Sho. Teruki,
and he got there.
Teruki didn't even.
He got there
He didn't even
because
bat an eye when he was growing up, because he's like, oh, Claw, yeah. I mean, there's these people that make artificial espers, but I don't really care about them because they don't really matter. He never even cared. He didn't care until Mob cared. Until Mob wanted to go and save his brother from Claw.
See, I'm not even gonna go that far, because
But now he
now you're
cares. Now he
disrespecting
cares.
Teruki's character. But what I am going to say is
But
that yes, of course, Sho is gonna have a bigger reason because his dad is running the whole organization. He's running the whole operation. So of course, Sho is gonna have more of a reason. But that does not mean
he was the closest person with more power than Teruki. If Teruki was in the same position as Sho, he would have been wiped clean even harder than Sho was, because of how we agreed that Sho is stronger than Teruki. Sho built up 3 months or 6 months. 6 months.
It was 3 months.
It was 3 or 6 months. I forgot which one. Of energy, of psychic energy, and blasted him. Teruki could not do that. Not yet.
Did any of that touch his dad though?
No,
did any of that charge,
because
charge bomb? Did any of that touch his dad? He was clearly, no matter how powerful Sho is.
Where was Teruki?
Hold on, no matter how powerful Sho is, right?
Teruki
we all know. Listen,
Shimazaki,
hold on. We all know, right, that he was way levels below his father. We know this, right? The only people that I feel like that can actually give his, defeat Toichiro Suzuki are Mob, because obviously we saw that, and Mogami, right? That's it. That's it. Nobody else. But Teruki at the same time, because I think defeating Claw is more than just who can defeat Sho's dad. Like, no, there's way more that goes into it, and you're forgetting the fact that Sho, even he He knew because listen, when he was matched up with Shimazaki, he told Ritsu, he was like, all right, I can't really handle this by myself. You can't handle this by yourself. We got to fight him together. And Ritsu was like, no, you got to go to your dad. Leave me here. Go on ahead. And Sho actually bought that, which was wild because Ritsu almost died. But Sho is just showing an example that he can't do all this stuff on his own. I think you're boosting him a little too much because Teruki, listen, if Shimazaki was still on the playing field, right? I don't think Sho is reaching his dad. I don't. I think Shimazaki is stopping Sho if Sho's fighting him 1v1 by himself.
No,
I think
1v1 probably yes. But
even with Ritsu didn't touch him.
was just about to strategize with Ritsu before Ritsu was the one who told him to go ahead. It wasn't that Sho was like, wait here, fight Shimazaki and lose so I could go kill.
Yeah, so I know.
He was like,
right.
Ritsu was told him leave, like go stop your dad. I know how it is. Like you gotta stop him from going berserk, just like I would stop my brother from going berserk.
It was just a bad move.
It was a bad move to leave him, but Sho went and he did what he did. But 1v1, Shimazaki is pretty indestructible because you need the strategy with Shimazaki is you got to have someone to distract him and keep his guard on someone else while someone else can come in for an attack. And that way, you can get it behind his mind's eye.
So you're helping my point though, because
Sho
had that ability to do that because he had allies.
Yeah.
Teruki realized that okay, with my allies, we're gonna formulate a plan together to take down Shimazaki. Sho was like, all right, you know what, Ritsu, go on ahead, get comboed, hopefully I beat my dad by the time I come back and I'll be able to save you.
Ritsu was like, go on ahead, and Sho didn't want to go, but he had to go.
He didn't have to go.
Yes, he had to stop his dad. All right, he had the need to stop his dad.
He didn't have to go.
But he at first, you see it at first. Now I remember this clearly, as much as I don't remember that many other things. At the very beginning, right before they were about to confront Shimazaki, Sho was about to strategize with Ritsu. Yes, Ritsu is slightly weak, but like I said, the way to defeat Shimazaki is with distraction by someone. Someone just needs to distract him while someone powerful can go and hit him while he's distracted. That's how you get in between the mind's eye, in between his predictions. That's how Teruki figured out to defeat him, because he knew that he needed other people to be coming in from different angles in order for them to get a clean shot at him. That's the way to defeat him. That's his weakness. Now, Sho was just about to strategize with Ritsu on how to do it. He knew his powers. He told Ritsu, he is teleportation. He can predict what you do. He's very powerful. We got to work together on this. He was about to strategize with him until Ritsu told him to leave. And I'm sure.
Well, let me ask you this.
And I'm sure if Teruki showed up, or if not even Teruki, if any of the other former 7th Division Claw members showed up, they would be fighting alongside Sho. Because they also know him.
Was Ritsu? Do you think Ritsu would have been enough by him, just Ritsu and Sho, to take down Shimazaki?
Maybe. I feel like in terms of
I'm done.
A cinematic.
Maybe
in terms of like a cool cinematic anime development for Ritsu to develop his powers more. I mean, we're discussing something that's never happened, but it could happen.
See, this is why you're a Sho fan, because you're boosting Ritsu just like him. Guys,
people
Teruki is the best secondary threat. I don't know what he's on.
People have potential. Everyone has potential. Sho has potential. Teruki and Mogami. We just haven't seen enough of them, and I want to see more of them.
Yes, and let us know who you guys think is the best secondary threat in the comment section below. And with that, signing out.